Imagine like a walk-off KO, and because I'm a wrestler, so I always think like, I'm gonna win, the crowd's gonna go wild, and I kind of get yelled at sometimes, like, dude, you're throwing wild stuff, stop doing it. But in this case, it kind of, worked out for me, so I'm happy about it.
What does that feel like to get a finish like that in your first pro fight? You try to jump out the cage, but what's going through your head at that time?
I mean, I guess I've knocked people out, but I've never knocked anyone out just standing up. So I kind of froze for a second. I didn't know whether to hit him or not once he hit the ground. And then I was like, well, damn, I just won. And then it all registered. I was like, oh, the fight's over. I got all my teeth. So I was real happy about that.
When you did go over and kind of, he was down for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Was there concern there that, this guy's seriously hurt? That's not a kind of need we see very often.
I knew he was out before he hit the ground, so it concerned me a little bit. But I saw him move for a second, so I was like, all right, you can celebrate. Like, it's a sport that you're bound to get hurt in, and it was just my night tonight, and, he ended up on the wrong end of a flying knee.
How much do you practice, that in practice? How many times have you gone through that and envisioned that?
I warm up with it. I warm up with a punching combination to some type of flying knee or some type of crazy kick. And, my partners, Carrington Banks usually, or Yuri Villafur, they're like, bro, calm down. Like, they give me that calm down look, like you don't know how to control. Because a lot of the tricks that I throw and a lot of the moves that I hit, half the time I really don't know how to control it. Like, I almost went over his head. So, it's fun to warm up with it, though. I tell you that much. It keeps the guys off me when we're sparring, and I love that.
Have you got other things in the kit bag then, like we haven't seen yet, like the...
You have no idea.
You
have I no nothing jumping off the cage, but a lot of my setups are they end in crazy ways with crazy moves and crazy finishes. I'm a setup guy. Neil Melanson has taught me to blend every single thing. So everybody's so worried about my wrestling, they have no idea that I don't have to wrestle. We don't have to go 3 rounds. We can stand and bang, and you're going to be on the losing end of it 9 times out of 10 because you have no idea what I'm going to throw.
From what you're saying, it sounds like you might have ended up as an acrobat in the circus.
I'll try. Hey, if they pay good, Bellator, I got a peace out. I'll see y'all later. If they paying good money. But no, a lot of the things that I do are acrobatic, and it comes natural. I'm a natural athlete. And so my coaches, they have to hone that and say, hey, let's be technicians. And that's what I have Neil Melanson for. He's a great technician. You don't meet too many guys that's that big, and he's a big technician. And he's like, hey, I love your flash, and I love, all the risks you take, but let's reel it in. So that's good. You saw that at the beginning of the fight with just the jabs. He's like, jab, lower your level changes. But the whole time I'm thinking, do something crazy. Like the whole time in my head, I'm like, yeah, let's fight, like let's brawl, and it helps that he hones that in. He makes me a actual fighter and instead of just a brawler, which it worked out really well tonight, so I'm happy.
It looks like you're going to be moved on fairly quickly with the skills you've got already. How quickly can you move up? You just made your debut, but how high are you quickly?
I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. When I started fighting, I had a rough year and a half. I've only been fighting for, seriously fighting for 2 years, maybe a little bit over 2 years. But I was thrown into the Black Zillions room, which, I'm sparring Robin Van Roseman my second week there, and he's just beating the crap out of me. So it's like, I have no fear. When I step in the cage, I'm completely relaxed. I'm calm because I've seen it all. I've sparred great kickboxers, world-class BJJ guys. So when it comes, and I'm confident in my wrestling. So when it comes down to it, whoever Bellator says you're going to fight him next, if it's next week, I'll go fight next week. Like I'm literally okay with fighting at any time, at any moment, any weight class except for heavyweight or light heavyweight, because Linton beats me up in the house, and I don't want to take that chance in the actual cage.
Surely before this fight, you took a look at the roster and said, oh, when I win this fight, here's kind of where I might stand. What are some of the names that you get to throw a name out there? These guys are listening, right?
I was thinking I wanted to fight Gallagher just because he has such a huge following, but I think he's hurt. So whoever they give me next is, who I'm going to fight. To be honest, I think I'm going to be the next star in Bellator. So in the featherweight division. So whoever they give me, it's going to be a rough night for them, and I'll take on whoever they give me at any time. I swear.
You're a huge featherweight. How do you make the weight? Is it struggle at all?
Dude, I was eating Snickers 2 nights ago, so it ain't that bad. It's not that bad of a cut. I could be a 35-pounder. I could be a 35-pounder, honestly. I walk around 160, 161, and I just choose not to cut that much weight. My chest is huge, so it looks like I'm big, but I'm not really that big. But, I think I can make 35, but it's not something that I would be interested in doing. My first couple fights were higher. I fought 55. I fought 70 one time, and so it's just kind of, this is the weight that where I train at. It's an easy cut for me, so I figured I'd just stay here if I'm going to be fighting for the next however long. I want to be in the same weight class for a while.
When you knew you were coming to Bellator, didn't you mention the Aaron Pico's name? Is that gone by the wayside?
Look, the thing with Pico is you send a man tampons to his gym and he doesn't respond. You can't say too much more because then you become a bully. I'm not big on being a bully. So I kind of backed off the Aaron Pico situation, and if he ever wants to fight and, prove his manhood, then, hey, let's do it. If he doesn't want to fight, I'm not going to pressure him to fight me. It kind of is what it is with him. I just thought that he was getting the hype, and I told him that was my hype and I was going to take it. And then the night I came and took it.
Just tell us a little bit about that background. Obviously, you come from wrestling. Did you know you were going to be an MMA fighter eventually then for a few years?
I dabbled in MMA a little bit, but for me, I'm an emotional guy, man, and it was an emotional decision. What was supposed to be my senior year, 2 days before the season started, the NCAA contacted me and told me I was ineligible. And it was because I transferred from a Division II school, and I wrestled 2 tournaments, literally 2 tournaments I wrestled, and they took the entire year away from me. So my coaches was like, they sat me down, hey, man, you can't wrestle anymore, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, hey, kind of give me my degree. And at that time, the second that news came out, Greg Jones, who was the wrestling coach of the Black Zillions, hit me up, and he's like, yo, you want to come down? And this was on Twitter. I was like, oh, this is a little sketch. But, I was like, yeah, I'll come down and try. And I came down. Everybody was nice to me. And I was like, yeah, man, this is awesome. I'm taking these guys down. Their stand-up isn't that great. And then, you pack up your Ford station wagon with holes in the bottom of it, and you move down there, and everybody's beating the shit out of you for, a year and a half, 2 years in it. And it kind of just transformed. At first, when I was fighting, I was thinking, like, I need something to do other than wrestling. And then now it turned into, like, I'm such a competitor that, like, man, I cannot not go back and let these guys just get the better of me. Like, it's not in me to let somebody just get the better of me. So I had to raise my level to those guys' level. And then eventually I started fighting for fighting and not fighting because I wasn't wrestling. So
But you finished your degree, yeah?
absolutely got a degree in healthcare and marketing. So the marketing part paid off just a little bit, I think.
Sir, that knee looked extremely comfortable. Extremely comfortable. You did very well. What are you training to be that comfortable throwing that particular high risk of a knee?
What am I training?
Like, what drill do you go through to get that comfortable throwing a knee like that?
It's a lot of just playing. So when we warm up, we play, and so that allows me to be creative. And I had to try to get something different than a lot of the times I would push a guy to the cage and then take him down. I was like, oh, well, let me try this, So I started pushing guys to the cage and then kneeing them. And then eventually it just got to the point where I was in the open and I was like, oh, let me see if I can knee this guy in the head. So, it kind of just transformed as I, grew a little bit as a fighter.
This fight's getting a lot of attention on social media right now. Are you a kind of a low-key guy, or are you looking forward to the fame?
Oh, I want the fame. Bring me
Right?
the fame. Look,
That's
with the
awesome.
fame come the money. Bring me the fame. No.
But you're enjoying it, though. It's going to be an enjoyable ride for you, isn't it?
It really will be. You have no idea. Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
What a beginning.
What do you have to say to the rest of the division?
It's over. It's over. Grab the shovel, dig your own grave, because I'm coming for you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, guys.